Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, versus Leovold, Emissary of Trest. Not a fan of this commander. Yeah, I think we've got a pretty good hand there, so we'll keep. Well, we can go for Nether Traitor on turn 2, or hold up Remand if we're worried about something our opponent might do. Let's go in for our Underground Sea. And then we can go for something with, yeah, we've got Dig Through Time, so maybe we can go for Scroll Rack here. And we'll draw into that next turn, throw it back over to our opponent. Probably get down Nether Traitor next turn. Although Nether Traitor does have haste, so I don't know if we're too worried about... Well, the sooner we get it in play, the sooner we can get down the Yuriko. Alright, Thoughtseize. Be intrigued to see what they go for here. Probably Remand, I would think. They might assume that we can get Nether Traitor out of the graveyard easily. Although the deck isn't really built around Nether Traitor shenanigans. No, they go for the Nether Traitor. So that means that we'll go for Scroll Rack now. That'll mean that they know what we draw into. Or what we tutored for and what we've drawn into. Now we need to decide, depending on what we draw next turn, we can either... Oh, no, our opponent has their own. They might not have had a land to play, so hopefully that is just mana fixing for our opponent. Yeah, depending on what they do here, I don't know if we want to hold up Remand or if we want to Scroll Rack. Okay, they go for Ancient Tomb into Dimir Signet. Alright, we get into a land which I am happy about. We'll just wait and see what our opponent does. We can either Supreme Will or Remand or Scroll Rack. If we can keep them off green mana, I'd be more than happy to play around that. We'll go for Scroll Rack then if our opponent is just going to pass the turn. They've only got 3 cards left in hand. We'll throw up Dig Through Time. Yeah, I'd rather draw into Remand, I think. So that'll go Dig Through Time, Supreme Will, Remand. We get into Invisible Stalker, which is fine with me, and we draw into that Remand, so that works out nicely for us. Let's get down the Invisible Stalker, see if our opponent has counter magic for us. Haven't been over the commanders actually, now that I think about it. Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, Commander Ninjutsu of Dimir. It's a 1/3, and when a ninja hits our opponent, we reveal the top card of our library. It goes into our hand, and we deal damage equal to its CMC to our opponent. Leovold, Emissary of Trest, goes hand in hand with wheel effects, which is why it's so such a good commander. That's a 3/3 Sultai commander. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. Basically means if you wheel, you discard your entire hand and your opponent draws a fresh new grip. And we'll only have 1/0 cards in hand with a complete inability to draw any new cards. And whenever you or a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell or ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Painful Truths, they're obviously after some green mana there, so we will Remand that. They can do that next turn if they want to. Now we're going to draw into that Dig Through Time. So how about we go for... Yeah, we'll go for Yuriko here. Start trying to pile damage onto our opponent before they fix their mana. And that is declared unblocked. So we'll go with Commander Ninjutsu, leaving our defences down a little bit here. Because we are going to have to Scroll Rack, but we couldn't have cast the Supreme Will anyway. Yeah, we'll go for Scroll Rack. And we'll put Conspiracy, Dig Through Time. Yeah, just put those on top. And we'll reveal the Dig Through Time. Okay, we get Thalicos Seer. That's another unblockable. And when it gets bounced by Yuriko, we draw a card. So Yeah, and Cover of Darkness might be good. Not so good if our opponent manages to get their Leovold down. But I'm assuming they're just going to go for the same spell again. Really hoping that they don't get into the mana they need here. No, it's just more Dimir mana for them. Be intrigued to see if they shock that in. They do not. And they get, Vidalcan Shackles. Yeah, we don't want to see Vidalcan Shackles. That's bad news for us. In that case, I will just go for Scroll Rack. We're going to have to fish for an answer here. We'll put back Conspiracy, Cover of Darkness, the Thalicos Seer. Don't want to put back the Supreme Will. We'll put Dig Through Time on the top of our library as well. Conspiracy, Cover of Darkness. We'll draw into Thalicos. No, we won't. We'll draw into Dig Through Time next turn, just in case we actually want to use that. Ancient Tomb. And then we've got Devastation Tide we could use. They can just get Vidalcan Shackles straight back out if they want to. Let's go for the Invisible Stalker. And then we can hold up Supreme Will and Reality Shift. Yeah, I think we just pass it like that. They can swing in here if they want to. No, I think I want to Reality Shift here. If they get down their commander, then so be it. But we want our commander back in the command zone anyway. See if they have counter magic for us. This keeps them off some card advantage and potentially dealing damage to us. Well, it looks like they've got counter magic anyway, which it's obviously good to get that out of the hand. Yep, they have mana drain. They'll only get themselves 2 mana from that. But unfortunately, we're in the wrong colours to deal with a Vidalcan Shackles. They get more mana in Sol Ring, that's the card they revealed with Yuriko. But they're not getting into their green mana. They get into Painful Truths again. Going down to 10 life, and there we go, they've got themselves a fetch. Thankfully, they can't get their commander down this turn, but they'll certainly be able to do it next turn. There's our Dig Through Time. So let's see if we can get anything going with the Dig Through Time. Alright, we've got Rift, Paradoxical Outcome, Dimir Infiltrator. I think I just want a land. And Cyclonic Rift maybe. Yeah, we'll go for that. The rest can go back in any order. We'll take a swamp there. And with that, we can Supreme Will, counter a target spell unless its opponent pays 3. They have a lot of mana there. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we either Cyclonic Rift for 2, or we Supreme Will, or hold up Limdul's Vault. We could also put Devastation Tide on top of our library for its miracle cost. Yeah, I'm not sure what we want to get going here, really. Well, a Wasteland is not good. We'll tap that down for blue mana and see if they want to pass through. Until the... Yeah, they're looking to pass through here. So let's instead go for Cyclonic Rift for 2 onto Yuriko. Keep them off a little bit of card advantage. And the Vidalcan Shackles is tapped out. We can get Yuriko through. We'll just have to hope that they don't have spot removal. If we deal 1 damage with Yuriko, we can deal a further 5 points of damage with Devastation Tide. Ugh, Time Twister. Do we care about any of the cards in hand? We could draw into... Oh no, it shuffles, doesn't it? Yeah, so we actually can't do anything with Scroll Rack there. Alright, in that case, they might just be looking for... no, we can't do anything with that. That miracle. Oh, actually, that might have been one of the best cards. If we can only draw into one card, then this might actually still allow us to win this. But that's exactly what Leovold wants to do, is get onto the field of play and then play wheels like that. Now, they might have another wheel in Windfall, which means that we wouldn't draw any cards off of that. And it's the reason that Leovold is just so very boring. Okay, Baleful Strix. Why don't we just try and get the win off now? We swing in with Invisible Stalker. It can't be blocked. And then we'll see if our opponent has a counter magic spell for us. Hopefully not. Might have spot removal still. Nope. So unless they can counter an activated ability, looks like we managed to win this one. We'll reveal the Temporal Mastery. And yeah, there we go. Don't mind that at all against a Leovold Emissary of Trest opponent. I will take that all day long. A huge amount of luck there. We only drew into one card off of the Time Twister, and it just so happened to be enough to knock our opponent down to 0. So hopefully you all enjoyed that. That was Yuriko, the Tiger's Shadow, versus the Fun Police, Leovold Emissary of Trest. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.